we're back. We're live. I hope you can hear me. I think you can. I'm going to do a level crown and polish job on this SG now. It took me a while to set it up, and that's because the fretboard is in an even worse state than I thought. First of all, it's not even a 12-inch radius fretboard. It's more like 9.5 inch, very close to 9.5 inch. Not quite, but yeah. And then the frets are even more radius than that. There are little gaps. If I were to do a refret, I would be planing this fingerboard first, after fret removal, and then I would be filling those gaps with ebony dust. Those gaps that, those fractured parts of the fingerboard. So, I forgot to say, you're watching Guitar Quackery live from Music Makers NY, Bob Elliott's Music Makers. Fantastic music studio here in Manhattan. Yeah. So let's get to work. It's a live stream you're watching, right? It's a live stream. So it's going to be long. All right, so let me mark off the frets first. I already started. I mark them off in red so that I see what I'm doing. I've tried other colors. Red works best. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's going to be an audience tonight. I will check. Yeah, like I said, it took me a while to set up this guitar on the neck jig. And the other thing is, because I can't remove this pickup, because that lead wire is too short, like we've seen on the previous live stream, I can't install a little piece here that holds my sanding beam, which I normally do. And the sanding beam is right here. So because it's a 9.5 inch radius fingerboard, I'll be using a 9.5 inch radius sanding beam. By the way, that's this way, skyscraper guitars. I put a link in the description for this. It's a really good sanding beam. It's a little bit longer than the Stumac version, which can be a good thing. All the links in the description are Amazon affiliate links, all right? So this is what I'll be using. But before I use this one, I am going to use the straight one just to take a quick read of the frets, just like that. X pattern. I don't have a camera here, an overhead camera, to show you exactly what it does, but yeah, so it hits all the red spots, all the high spots, removes the red, exposes the metal, and now I can see where I have the high and low spots on the frets. And this fret, the last one, is really high. So it's really in the way of leveling this. I don't think this has ever been leveled. It's been refretted badly, poorly. Okay, now it's starting to hit the adjacent fret. But I want to take off a little more. This last fret is high, really high. Yeah, I want to hit all the high spots first before I take the 9.5-inch leveling beam. It's a 1970s Gibson, so those can be weird. And yeah, I don't know. They can be weird. 1970s Gibsons or Fender guitars. All right. So because I can't put that little piece here that usually holds my sanding beam, I just need to be extra careful not to move it like this. I do have some techniques. Just like that. I did not remove the nut. Oops. But I did tape it off. Just want to make sure the tape holds up. Like that. Okay. Yeah, I really can't think of any way to put a piece here to hold the side of this leveling beam. Or maybe, actually, I do have an idea now. So why don't I try to do that? So I am just going to take a piece of, oh look, I have an audience. A small piece like this and some clamps. I have clamps here. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's see if this works. I didn't think of this before. Oh yeah, this should work. So what this does is it prevents the sanding beam from moving, you know, kind of left and right. So normally I would remove the pickup so that I can expose the area right around the pickup ring. So make sure this is centered. Almost. All right. This should do the trick. Gotta make sure not to poke my eye. So now I can really guide this sanding beam straight. On this side, I'm holding with my fingers, just like that. And on this side, I have this piece. So I don't know what's up with this 9.5-inch radius fretboard. It's a 1970s Gibson. Yeah. So there were some dead frets and buzzing and things like that. So, and now that I started removing material, I see where it's exposing the frets, where I'm removing the red marker, and I see that it's really horrible. Yeah, this whole section here is high. So when I level it down, these frets will be probably noticeably lower than the other frets on this fretboard. I don't think it's the original nut, and I have a feeling that it's been glued on with kind of permanently. So normally I would remove the nut, but I just didn't want to take chances with this. Because if I break it, I need to fix it. Okay. It's moving slowly in the right direction. So the best service for this would have been a refret, but that would have put it into a higher bracket budget. I'm sure I won't finish tonight, but hopefully it won't take too long just to level off the frets. It's almost midnight, so depending on how long it takes to level the frets, I might or I might not be recrowning tonight. So the recrowning, I like to do it on the jig, but I can also do it on the workbench. It's all over the place. I wish I had a camera here to show you. Let's see how it goes. Sometimes a level crown and polish doesn't really work out, and we need to pull the frets out and fix the fingerboard and then put new frets in. So I'm not sure. I feel like I should be saying something. I don't know what to say. Well, I can already tell you this is going to take a while because it's not even close to some of the, because the frets are over radiused to some of the spots, and the crowns are going to look a bit uneven, thinner and thicker, because the frets aren't seated all the way. Yeah, this is a much more severe case. So a lot more material needs to be removed from the frets, which makes them really flat, and then the recrowning also takes forever. I think maybe I should take some pictures. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Or even a short video. Just like that. Okay, so this shows how uneven the frets are. I'm just doing this for archival purposes, so I can look back at this. Now some photos. Yeah. Everybody left. I'm again by myself. Just me and the guitar. Boy. Yeah, the more I look at this, this should really be a refret. Let's continue, let's see. sometimes it can take longer to do a level crown and polish than a full refret with a level crown and polish if there's issues. Well, in this case it wouldn't really, because I would still have to significantly plane the fingerboard, so that would take a while. But the results would be better. We did discuss a refretting option, and the customer decided to do this. It is an option because the frets do have enough height, which reminds me it would be a good idea to measure the heights. I have a couple of ways of measuring the heights. 3 ways, actually. How many people are watching? 6 people. Yeah, hello everybody. Yeah, I need to just continue. I can't do chat, I'm sorry. Last night I went to bed at around 6:30 a.m., which technically is not last night. Okay, so I'm using my dial indicator that I usually use for to measure the string height on the nut. Now I'm using it to measure the fret height. So we do have sufficient fret height. It's about 1.3 to 1.45 millimeters. The only issue is that it's going to look kind of ugly because of the gaps. Yeah. I think it should have been a refret. But now we're doing this. These pickups sound good. I wonder if I should put a different grit here. This might be too fine for now. And yeah, I am leaning in that direction right now. So I think that might be a good idea. So, all right, why don't we do that? So I'll remove this. Just peel it off. And then also clean up the glue. All right. So this just with acetone. Oh, that's not it. I'm gonna put 220, I guess. .220 grit sandpaper. Well, I say 220, I mean P220. P as in Peter. I'm thinking of making a video, actually a live stream, about sandpaper grits. I was kind of entertaining the idea of doing it today, but I had too much work and I had some phone calls and some emails and text messages to deal with. So, you know. This morning, somebody texted me about a Martin guitar. I forget which model. And I looked at the pictures, and it looks like it's, I don't know how old it is, but it's got these whatever splash marks, small droplets through the sound hole. You can see them. So sometimes people are bleeding and they keep playing and the blood is just splashing. I've seen it on the guitars. I don't remember ever seeing it inside of the guitar, right? So it might be something else, but people have brought guitars with blood on them, and I declined to work on them. And then they say, well, I'll just clean it up. No, not really. So blood should be treated just the same way as any biohazard, right? It's a biohazard. I don't know what disease one person might have. Okay, so this is P220. And then I'll have to switch back to 320. Yeah, this is when I wish I had more of the same sanding beams. So this is a 9.5-inch radius. Yeah, I'm still kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure why it's a 9.5-inch radius. And should I be doing this with a 9? But yeah, I mean, I'm not sanding the fingerboard. I'm just matching the frets to the fingerboard. The fingerboard is there. There. Now it's sharp on this side, but I will trim it, I guess. Otherwise you can get a paper cut. And we all love paper cuts. Only on one side, I think, because I try to match the other side flush or a little bit shy of being flush. Okay. This should go faster now. Yeah, the other side is good. And now back to work. I left my brush inside. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So these initial passes obviously are going to remove some grit off of the sandpaper. So we want to be cleaning it more often now. But I'm sure this will make it go faster. I wouldn't normally use P220 for frets. It would be used for fingerboard correction. I'm actually thinking I should finish off with a straight leveling beam. So I don't need to change the paper on this one. Because basically I just need to remove the scratches. It is going faster, but it's making some of the frets completely flat. Ah, here's the nut. Okay, so I'll have to re-glue it. No problem. So now this should make it even easier. I did notice that this neck has quite a natural up bow when the strings are off and the truss rod is completely loose. It's got quite an up bow. So, but the truss rod does work. So I did try off camera. So this really helps to keep this really steady. And on this side, even if it moves a little bit, what ends up happening is you end up making a little bit of a compound radius. So it's going to be a little more radius here than here. So if this is completely steady, it's transferring the radius from the sanding beam. But if this moves a little bit like this, then it's over radiusing on this side, which means it ends up creating a slightly compound radius, very slightly. I just don't like what I'm seeing because here on this side, on the treble side, there's a whole low spot. So, yeah. They did glue the frets in because I just removed some glue squeeze out from the side of the fret. And here as well. The headstock repair was done really well, but the refret, not even close. So obviously, the refret was not done by the same technician that did the headstock repair. I pushed my body against this. All right, at least it's removing more material than the other grid. I'm looking at the reflection of the light. So it's even here. I did touch all the frets, but there's quite a low spot here that I'm seeing. My phone is alerting me to, it's sending me a bedtime reminder. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I changed the paper because it's removing quite a lot of material quickly. I think I mentioned this guitar yesterday on one of the live streams. I also need to do a level crown and polish on that jazz bass that I refretted. Not tonight. Mm-hmm. It is getting there, but I'm still seeing that low spot, especially on the 6th fret, for whatever reason, this one fret. So this guitar could have never been set up well with frets like this. Yeah. I am going to take another picture of this. Well, a video and some photographs. For the customer also, so that we can discuss things, I guess. Okay. That's the video. Pictures. it's starting to hit that 6th fret, but also the 11th fret has just a spot right where the E string is, and the 13th fret as well. Okay. And on the bass side, the 12th fret and the 14th fret and the 16th fret. Actually, yeah, quite noticeable. Okay. Well, it'll play better, but I think for the owner, the frets are going to feel noticeably lower. Not necessarily too low, but I'm sure he will feel the difference. Kind of when you get work done on your teeth, like a filling, and it just kind of feels different in your mouth for a day, and then you get used to it and it feels just normal. I do wonder how high the frets are now. So let's go over a few. Okay, 1.15. Oh, look at that, 1.31. So the fretboard is like this, the fingerboard, because this is 1.22, 1.23. 1.17, yeah. Above 1 millimeter, I think is good for just about anyone. Below 1 millimeter, it starts being noticeable to some players. Others don't have issues with that. But then 0.8 or less, that really is noticeable. Especially on a guitar that's a lead guitar, because it's more difficult to bend the strings. I don't know if this camera can see where it's at. I don't think so. I don't think the resolution is good enough. But the frets are right now super flat. So recrowning is going to take a long time. I don't think I can do it tonight. It's also raining. Let me check the weather. And I'm on my bike. Oh yeah, raining all night and all day tomorrow. Great. Nah. Right. I have a 1-hour bike ride every day, each way. If the rain is really bad, I'll just take the subway. I do have a raincoat and boots. I brought boots today. Well, the good news is that once I'm done, because the frets are so bad, right? So once I'm done, the guitar should play significantly better. But I am removing a lot of material from these frets. I'm sure they were hammered in. I use a fret press, an arbor press. When I can. Sometimes it's not possible. I also have the Stumac Jaws tool. Hammer is the just the last resort. Oh wow, that's 6th fret. I mean, it's hitting it, and now I'm noticing also the 4th fret is not quite as bad as the 6th fret, but yeah, what's up with that? I almost wonder if I should do a little bit of a compound radius so that yeah, if I make these a little bit more radiused and hit the sides of the frets, I would be able to keep some of the height. Let me think. I think so. So what I'm doing now is, so when I'm planing, I have this here, right? And here I grab the neck like this, and I can feel the center line, and I keep it that way. I guide it. So now if I want to tilt it this way, well, then I have my grip and I feel it, and then I'm going to do the other way, right? Like this and like that. But here, well, right around here, it's going to stay the same, right? So if I over radius this first position a little bit, which is what I'm doing now, it's not going to affect the bending here. And here, I'm noticing how it's touching those frets now. Got to make sure this doesn't move. No, that's good. So again, yeah, I think that was a good decision. And you can see this. I think that camera might be better. So here, this is the close to the body. Is anyone watching? Yeah. And you can see this distance here and here. increased distance, right? So I am making a compound radius. So the fretboard will not have a compound radius, but the frets will. Okay. Well, the other thing is that these frets are kind of rolled in addition to being uneven. So the fretboard isn't rolled, but the frets are. So maybe I need to do that as well. They're rolled unevenly, right? So, you know, against each other. I'm still hitting the treble side, that compound radius trick. It's better. And if I want to roll it, roll the fret ends, I just lift it like this, right? I can do that as well. And I'm going to start doing that now. And again, it's to preserve fret height as much as possible, but making the frets even against each other. Okay, I like the results. Now only one fret remains, the 13th fret here. And this rolling really helps. So I don't know if I'm explaining this. Maybe I show it from this angle. So I'm basically doing this, right? A little bit. Just basically to match what's already there and level everything, level it off. And I think that's it. Okay, so now, so I rolled it this way, and I tilted it this way, right? So now I do it the other way around. I'm going to tilt it this way and roll it this way. So let's work on the bass side now. Let's clean up first. Oh yeah, and you can see how I rolled it again. Here is like this, and then here is like that, right? It's at an angle. The whole thing isn't parallel to this edge. And now we are going to see this pattern on the other side, a mirror image of this pattern, right? And we'll have a compound radius. Okay. So now this way. Again, I do like what I see. And I can show you this. So this is the treble side. Now this is the bass side. You can see the distance here. And now it's increasing, right? And again, it's hitting more of the edges because now I'm over radiusing the frets starting in first position. So when you do this, they are high, right, against this sanding beam. In a way, this guitar is now going to get an additional premium feature, right? A compound radius. And that's to minimize, in this case, based on the topography of this actual fretboard here, which is uneven, to minimize how much material I will end up removing from the frets, from the middle parts, like where the G and D strings are. So it wasn't as severe on the bass side, and the reason is because of the fingerboard topography. So I believe that on the treble side here, let's switch the camera. On the treble side here, there is basically I don't know if you call it a relief, whatever. You know, it's a low spot on the fingerboard, on the actual wood. So then the frets are laid on the fingerboard, and then obviously if you level the frets, you pick up the discrepancy with the, you know, with the sanding job. I'm going to start rolling. The pickups are protected. I'm not scratching anything. So the knot was terrible, but I was not going to remove the knot because I thought maybe it was glued in permanently, right? So now that the nut has been knocked out, I wonder if we should make a new nut. And the nut shelf is terrible. Well, it's all leveled off. Okay. So I will now continue with the straight sanding beam. So this one we no longer need. Put it here. I do have two different grits on this. So this is my coarser grit on this side. I will start with this because now we are just doing scratch removal, okay? And now I'm going to do this X pattern. Yeah, there's no need to change the sandpaper on the a radius sanding beam. I just do this because this isn't removing any significant amount of material. It's a fine grit. I just want to remove the scratches. In fact, we no longer need this, so I'll put that away. Okay, all good. Okay, let's continue. But the frets are flat. And I can also roll the edges. Okay, done with this grit. That's this side, and now the other side is a finer grit. And now we need to do some recrowning. So these frets are like block inlays. They're just, yeah, no crown left. Okay, yeah, take a picture. So that's the nut. We removed so much material from the frets, we need to cut that nut anyway. I think it makes more sense to put a new nut. Okay, oh yeah, a picture. Or a video and a few pictures. Let's start with a video. Okay, that's the video. They're already kind of shiny. Okay, we need to start crowning. So I will start with the coarse crowning file. Let's see. Is there an audience? Still a few people watching. 5 people watching. Only drunk musicians bleed. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, I can't read all the comments. Let's see if this one is adequate. I do have another crowning file at the other shop. I mean, I have so many. So I was working on something, and yeah, I think that let's see how it goes. So these are almost like jumbo frets. I'm not a big fan of jumbo frets. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I wish I had the other one, but it's not here. I have another shop, which is now just my fabrication shop. It's in my basement, but yeah, I've been renovating my basement for quite a while now, so maybe one day I'll do live streaming from there as well. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the right side. So I don't need to mark them off in red because I can just tilt my head and I see that, you know, it's reducing the width of the polished top surface, right? So that's what I'm looking at. Plus, red markers are expensive. They actually are. Okay, so it would be a mistake to use a diamond file at this stage because unless it's a really coarse grit diamond file, which to my knowledge they don't make them, right? Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right? And I think you still wear down the diamonds, right? Even if they're hard. But I'm using just a conventional file. And I believe that Fret Guru makes a diamond file that's that has kind of like a coarse grit, but I don't like it. I've tried it. It's too coarse for me. So for my taste, yeah. You know, I even forgot to check. I mean, I don't see how there would be any uneven frets, but let's check. Nothing. They're even. Yeah, so if they made a centered Z file, which is really like more like a V file with coarse grit, diamond grit, I would want to try it for this. And that's because the centered Z file has basically an opening at the tip. So it really wouldn't touch the top of the crown. But that Fret Guru file is more like a U-shaped file, right? Just like this one is. And I feel that the coarse grits from the whatever tip of that file might hit the frets, the tops of the frets. Yeah, intuitively I think so, but I'm not really sure. I only tried it once. No, someone else had it. I decided not to buy it. I'm sure it has its uses, right? Change camera angle. I don't think you can see any details, but here it is. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of jumbo frets. So if you think about it, when, not if, but when you get dimples on frets, they shift the point of string contact, right? And so two things happen. One is it affects the intonation. So with a wide fret, if you have a dimple, you get more of a shift. Okay. But another thing happens as well. Fret buzz. So let's say that you wear down the fret and it's worn at the same string pitch, right? So what happens now if you get a little bit of an up bow on the neck due to whatever temperature and humidity changes? Well, now it's no longer, now the string when you fret it down is no longer like the neck goes like this, right? It opens up that gap. So now when the string vibrates, you can get fret buzz. That's my take on it. I like medium frets. Medium is just medium. Nothing stands out. Oh, I was showing the wrong camera. I was showing something to this camera, and I was talking. Sorry, you see, it's getting late. Yeah, it's getting late. Maybe it's the app. So is anyone watching? Because I can explain one more time. Let's see. How many people are watching? 5. All right. Then I guess it's worth explaining. I will explain. I will repeat what I just said. So with jumbo frets, okay, you see cameras again. Jumbo frets are wider, right? So let's say the string wears down the fret like this, right? So now that's the string, that's the dimple on the fret. Okay, that's the dimple on the fret. So now what happens if the neck gets an up bow? It goes like this. So now the string vibrates like this, and you get a little bit of fret buzz, I think. So it's more noticeable, I think, on a wider fret, like on a jumbo fret. Because those dimples are wider on jumbo frets. Okay, I'm not even halfway there. All right. What time is it? Maybe I should just spend the night here so I don't have to deal with the rain. Okay, so how long did it take to go through 10 frets? I didn't time it. I guess I could watch the video and hit replay. Sorry. Okay. I am again looking at the reflections. I'm moving my head left and right, and there's a light here, and I see the reflections are moving in tandem, all of them. Not like this, but all of them are moving together. That's always a good sign. So I will recrown everything tonight, but I think I'll do the polishing tomorrow. Or, no, what's tomorrow? No, I'm doing something else on Saturday. Okay. There's plenty of height left. I'm gonna guess 1.2 millimeters, maybe even more. .22, 1.25, 1.3, 1.2. Yeah, it's over 1 millimeter. It's good. They were actually too high before because they're not seated properly. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. So I guess that's another thing about these live streams. Other streaming YouTubers, they might have a 1 hour or 2 hour live stream and be done for the day or for the week, streaming and talking. But in my case, if I hit this stream button a few times a day, I end up talking for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. About what? Eventually, I guess I run out of things to talk about. I can't always talk about the frets. I mean, if there's something new happening, like a unusual situation, but what is there to say about this fret that I haven't told you about this fret or whatever, right? Just in general. They do get warm to the touch a bit. All right, so now the horns are gonna get in the way, right? Okay. So this section, this is 2, 4, 7 frets. I'm going to have to do the treble side from this side and then the bass side from the other side. That's the only way to avoid hitting the horn on this side now. So I guess after all, there is something to be said about this fret that I haven't told you about this one. It's more difficult to recrown frets on a classical guitar because the fingerboard doesn't have a radius. So it's really difficult to hold a flat file flat and even against a flat fret. So they should make files, I guess like the Fret Guru file, that's curved, so you can go against the flat fret. I've done level crown and polish jobs on classical guitars because they had uneven frets, and I guess those customers wanted lower action, lower than a regular classical guitar action. Three more from this side. Oh, I just, before I forget, I gotta check my battery on my computer. Oh yeah, low battery. Here. Smalls live stream. Do I know that live stream? Smalls live stream. Live jazz stream. Oh, I don't know it. Okay. Sorry. I was just reading a comment. Oh, and here I am still cleaning that bridge. Yeah, I checked a few times. Yeah. I guess that's a way to watch my live streams. You can watch 2 live streams at the same time. So I would imagine that Small's jazz live stream is just music, right? Yeah. I can't play music on these live streams because of copyright issues. I built this neck jig myself. It's obviously a copy of the Dan Earlywine neck jig, but I came up with some small improvements. So, yeah, one day I'll make a video about it. So last time I checked, there were 102 subscribers to this new channel. And I guess I'm creating content, you know, pretty regularly and quickly. Because there's no editing, there's no post-production involved, no scripting. With the produced content, I used to script everything, and now I am not scripting, but I still need to think about what it is that I'm going to say, and say it in a more efficient way. But, you know, for live streams, I don't think it matters. I think it's better not to think in advance too much. Yeah, just, you know, just do it. I already have more archived live streams on this channel than I have videos on the main channel, and potentially more viewing hours on this channel than I have on the main channel. So I want to get fully monetized on this channel so that the replays can play with ads. So the only way to avoid ads, other than paying whatever YouTube Premium, would be to catch the actual live streams in real time. Okay, so now from this side, so should I switch to this camera. Ah, wrong camera again. Okay, this camera. Okay. I need to move this camera to a different number because I keep making the same mistake over and over again. I could also move the neck jig this way. Oh. I think that's a better view. Let me check something. Yeah, how many? 5. I bought something today, potentially for the channel. A drone. So now, oh, hold on. Is that on? Yeah. Okay. It's doing its thing. So I'll show you. So this is the drone. Oh, I need to remove the lens cap. How do you do this again? Spotlight. Okay. Let's see if it's going to do it. It's freaky. Anything? Oh no. Look at that. So now it's turning. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got a few modes. Direction track. What mode is that again? Follow. Hold on. I think that's the... So now it's tracking me. And if I do this, it comes to me, right? I think so. So I think there's not enough light maybe or something. I don't know. So maybe I will include some drone footage for the main channel. How do you turn this off? I don't know. That's it. Okay, back to work. Just reminds me of the drone I had when I was a kid. It's called the DJI Neo. You can look it up on YouTube. And it's safe to use indoors. Outdoors, there are drone laws, so I don't know. You can do it on private property. I don't know about this little one, if I would be allowed to use it outdoors. I'm not sure. But now I can walk around the studios here, and the drone will follow me. I already tried a little bit. It arrived today. I wish there was a way to do it with the live streams, because it could just follow me like this, but I don't think it can do that. I can see the image on the phone from the camera. So I don't know if there's a way to send it to the switcher somehow. I don't know. Maybe there's an app that would do that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll search YouTube for live streaming drone footage or something like that. Maybe there's a solution. This one's still flat. I tested the drone in the big studio. The big studio has a lot of mirrors. I thought it would get confused because it's tracking me, right? It's AI tracking, whatever that means. So I thought it would get confused if it sees me in the mirror, because there are big mirrors there. It didn't seem to see me in the mirrors. I guess because it kept tracking me, so it ignored any other characters that, you know, showed up, even if it's my own reflection. Okay, friends, I think I'm gonna end it soon. Yeah. It's 1:30 a.m. And, or should I do a polish tonight because it's already on the jig? So if it was a high fret, I removed more material and I flattened it more, which requires extra recrowning. I hope this was informative. I think it was, right? Because there was that compound radius situation. I had to make a call, and I think I made the right decision. It's still going to be less radius than it was before. So, you know, too much radius is not good because you can't bend the strings if you want low action, because they fret out. But based on what I was seeing, based on the progress, I had to make a call and just do a compound radius and also roll the edges of the frets. So I've done this kind of compound radius before, not for the same reason actually, but just, you know, a regular compound radius with you know, just not straight leveling, with a radius sanding beam, right? Okay, so now how long is it going to take to polish? Because I could do that sandpaper polish without the micro mesh tonight. So it might take another 20 minutes. Let me check the battery again, my computer battery, because it's on a timer. My charge is on a timer, so when I push the button, yeah, it's still low. Okay, 4 people watching. YouTube Premium is great value. Hate the ads, love the videos from Quackery. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce Ted Woodford because the way he spells it. Harpet. Oh, yeah, he's great. Scott is great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love that guy. I watch him often. Less often now because I'm streaming. And I talk to him sometimes on Zoom. Yeah, sometimes. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So where's the sandpaper? Must be here, right? I had an open thing. Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken. Did I put it away? Okay, let's open a fresh one. Okay, that's a fresh one. The 600 grit. I know I have it somewhere, but I can't find it. Okay, no problem. Let's do this. Where's the file? Oh, here. And this thing is here. Okay. I prefer working from this side. I guess it's an okay view. Oh, fret shield. Yeah. I hope it's. Oh yeah, I did measure the fret, the scale length. So where's the Gibson? So this is the Gibson, okay? This is the Fender, and this is the Epiphone. So Gibson and Epiphone are not the same, right? they don't align exactly. You see? Epiphone is a bit longer. So if I align these holes, they don't align here quite. And then if I align these, then these here I misaligned. So this should be the right one, I believe. Okay. Let's see. Like I said, I prefer this side of the guitar. Yeah. And I can just hold the fret shield without the rubber bands, I think. It's not quite aligning, okay? I'm not surprised. So Gibson scale lengths are not consistent always. They haven't been consistent throughout history. Because the fret ends are rolled, I can't do it with the fret shield because then I'm not hitting. Yeah, so I just need to be extra careful not to slip. Yeah, I can do it. I actually bought the drone for something else that has nothing to do with my channel or guitars. But now I have it. And I might use it. Looks like I gotta hit it more than once. Yeah, so this is taking longer, the whole project. And let me check something again. How long have I been streaming for? Does it say here? No, I gotta put on this screen. 2 hours, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Okay. All right, 4 people watching. So people are still watching. I don't like the way the light hits it. I can't really see what I'm doing. So let's move it this way. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I'm used to having the headstock on this side. That's better. Because this is the light source. So yeah, I bought the drone for some other reason. Serious business, but not content creation. So now it's here. It's kind of freaky how it follows me. It's like a little robot that just follows me. And it's noisy. So I might have some ideas for the main channel, how to use it. To be honest, when they first came out, I was thinking, oh, how I, could use it for the channel, because, they're all over YouTube, these drones. And in fact, last year, about a year ago, another AI facial recognition drone came out, and not a DJI, I can't remember the company name. And I was thinking about that drone, and it was maybe $350, something like that. And I was like, I don't really need it, whatever. So I forgot about it. Then the DJI came out a year later, or even less than a year later, and it's $200. And I was thinking, maybe I should buy it. But I couldn't really think of a good reason to buy it for the channel. And then something else came up. Something. Nothing to do with guitars or the channel. And I thought that the drone would be a great solution. Basically, I need to inspect something on my house, and I don't want to climb up the ladder. So, so it's on private property. I can use it. And I thought, okay, instead of going up the ladder and risking a fall or whatever, and all I need to do is inspect something all the way up. I thought, let's buy this drone, and maybe I'll use it for the channel then. But for that other purpose, I also had to buy a remote controller. So I'm waiting for that to arrive. You can control it from the app, but it might not work if you're too far away from your Wi-Fi. So I decided to buy the controller for that other purpose. And it's just a one-time thing. But, you know, it's just a homeowner's expense, I guess. I guess it's tax deductible. Yeah, I gotta talk to the accountant if I bought it for the house. Or maybe not anymore. I used to have tenants, so at that time anything would be tax deductible. Now I don't know if it's tax deductible, or maybe not tax deductible in the same way. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, every polish is different, right? On this one I can't use the fret shield. I guess I could tape off the fretboard. I do charge extra for that. Maybe I should have. I mean, it is time and money, right, to tape it off. Tape is expensive. It adds up. Okay, so now on these, I gotta hit it from both sides. All right. So, all right. It's not the best use of paper because I'm only using one side of the paper now, the way it's hitting it. Okay. Now again, I won't be able to see the reflection, so now, hold on, I can use this. Yeah. I think that's a better view, right? Okay. Let's check. Yeah. So now 1000 grit. Okay. Which is this one. Oh, let me check that battery again. 4 people watching. Oh, we had a bigger audience than people left. Okay, no problem. I can't blame them. Forgot to use gloves. And here it is. Oh, I know what happened. The drone passed above this area, right? And blew away all the papers. So that's the 600 grit. And now I don't know where the 1000 grit went. Okay, so it's that drone. I guess it's mischievous. Two a.m. Again, it took longer, but I am going to do this 1000 grit, and then I'll do the rest on the bench, but not tonight. This looks good. So this already gets it shiny. One could say it's already good enough and very smooth to the touch. But it isn't that mirror finish, right? And it does have that brushed look, you know, which is a nice look. But I don't think it's, you know, the kind of look that we should be seeing on frets. So, I just realized I don't know how many new people might be watching this, and the new people might not know what I'm talking about right now, because I've explained this in previous live streams, which were not long ago, like yesterday, the day before, right? So if anyone else logs on and starts watching this live stream, what do? Do I explain everything from the beginning? It's the Ken Parker method. At least I'm crediting it to Ken Parker because I learned it from his channel. And now I'm incorporating it into my work. The Ken Parker method of polishing frets. But then he uses steel wool after that, and I don't. So, after this stage. So it should take another, well, I'm hoping 10 minutes, but I'm sure it's going to be 15 or more. So definitely, I predict that this guitar will play much better. I hope it's better after all this work. See, now I slipped, but it's only 1,000 grit, and I just nicked it a little bit, so it didn't really leave a scratch mark on the fingerboard, on the ebony. And I can always do a little touch-up, because this fine grit would not leave deep marks anyway. I don't want to scratch the perloid though, the block inlays. Okay. 2, 4, 6. Okay. So again, we have that situation around the horns. Three more, and then from the other side. So my 10-minute prediction was a bit off, I think. It always takes longer, which is why I no longer want to talk about turnaround times. It's a meaningless conversation with the customers. It's not in the interest of the customer to be misled or, yeah, I no longer have those conversations. Okay. No. This camera? That's good. All right, so now I can, yeah, I can do this. Just curious, what fret height do we have? Well, it's going to vary, right? 1.22, 23. This varies between 20 and 23, depending where I put it. 1.3 over here, about 1.25 here. Yeah, I mean, we didn't end up with really low frets. Not at all. Yeah. Here's the guitar. Mm-hmm. Three people watching. Okay. Well, I am gonna wrap it up. Oh, I gotta check on that bridge. Why don't we do that? Because I gotta remove it from the thing anyway. Here's the guitar. Okay. My hands are a mess. And now I need to bring this camera in. This is the camera that's usually here, right? And we want to look at that bridge. So why don't I put the guitar on these hangers are taken. Yeah, this is just going to be a giveaway guitar, so I'll just put it over here. It's a Brownsville. I guess it's almost vintage now. I don't know. Here. Okay. Let's have a look at those, at that bridge. Where's my phone? Here it is. And that's it, yeah. That's the bridge. Ultrasonic cleaner. And so now we can look inside and we see all the deposits at the bottom, right? There's a whole bunch of deposits, so I'm hoping that now the screws will turn. Oh, look at that, there's screws on both sides. I didn't realize that. We'll see. Okay, let's try. So this was the bass side. Let's see if we can turn. Barely, but it is turning. So this will require some additional cleanup, I guess, and lubrication. Okay, it's starting to turn. All right, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, before it just wouldn't budge at all. And now I can move the saddles, which is what we want. That's actually very good, right? You can buy a harmonica bridge. It's like $300 or something. You can buy a new one. Okay, so this is in fact very good. It will still require some lube, but that's good. All right, and this, what should I do about that? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe I can adjust the height so that maybe I can release the string tension to adjust the height and then put the strings back to full tension and just be done with that. All right. Okay, 2 people watching. I see a lot of comments, but friends, I'm really tired, so I gotta go. All right, make sure you click the like button if this was any good, and I'll see you next time. Bye.